Good evening, everyone. Could we please rise for the prayer? Dear God, as this session opens, we pray that your presence will be before us and everyone who serves in the decision-making process of our city. We pray for direction which will lead our city to be strong and unified. May we continue the legacy of our founders. May we be granted this day the wisdom to make decisions which will be for the good of our city. We also pray for your special blessing on all those who are working to transform our city and make it a better place to live and work. Amen. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Mercia.
Here.
Counsel Milanazzo.
Here.
Counsel Rourke.
Here.
Counsel Samaras. Counsel Belanger.
Here.
Mayor Elliott.
Here.
Counsel Kennedy.
Here.
Counsel Leahy. Counsel Martin.
Here.
7 present.
7 present. If there's no objection, I'd like to offer a moment of silence in darkened chambers from the rostrum for Elaine McDermott Sweeney. This is a very personal moment of silence for me, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my friend, Elaine. Elaine was born and raised in Lowell and was a lifelong resident of Pawtucketville. Elaine attended St. John Duck School, as did her 4 lovely daughters, Beth, Bridget, Lindsay, and Ashley. Elaine attended Middlesex Community College and worked as a paralegal and also in human resources field. Elaine was very much a people person. She was a tireless volunteer for her church and her community. I had the pleasure of spending many mornings with Elaine over her far too brief life. For many years, we rode the train into Boston together. We would sit together and talk and laugh. She had this laugh, an infectious personality that would draw people to her. I coached our girls in SJA Summer League for many years at Father Maguire Park. My daughter Caitlin played basketball with her daughter Lindsay at Lowell High School. We sat in the stands. We cheered together for our girls. Our daughters talked us all into going camping one summer. It was the last camping trip that we went on. But my family would go to a house for cookouts, just hang out with each other's company and enjoyed each other. There were many wonderful memories that I will hold in my heart. There was one constant throughout all of my memories of my friend Elaine, and that was her love for her daughters. We would talk on the train or commiserate, depending upon the day, about raising girls and teenagers and the joy associated with it and the challenges as well. She loved her daughters with all her being and wanted only the best for them. They were the light of her light. She has 3 beautiful grandchildren, and they were the new lights in her life. More children to love. That was Elaine. I will miss her smile. I will miss her kindness. I'm going to miss her infectious laugh. But most of all, I'm going to miss her friendship. May God bless her and help her family through this difficult time. Thank you. Could we please rise for darkened chambers in a moment of silence? May she rest in peace. First order of business on the agenda under the mayor's business is a proclamation to the Division of Planning and Development, Acting DPD Director, and Diane Trad, and Community Development Director Allison Lammy, recognizing National Community Week. Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome. This is the Second proclamation that I will issue today, the first one, Allison was also in attendance with the Parks and Conservation Trust celebrating Earth Day as well as Arbor Day. And it was a tree planting event, and it was a nice collaboration between Parks and Conservation Trust and the Community Development Program and Director. So on behalf of the City of Lowell, we'd like to offer a proclamation recognizing National Community Development Week. And on behalf of all of my colleagues in government and the City of Lowell, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, by His Honor Rodney M. Elliott, and Mayor, a proclamation. Whereas this week of April 21st through the 25th, 2014, has been designated as National Community Development Week by the National Community Development Association to celebrate the Community Development Block Grant Program, the Home Investment Partnership Program, and the CDBG program, which provides annual funding and flexibility to local communities to provide decent, safe, and sanitary housing, a suitable living environment, and economic opportunities to low and moderate income people. Whereas the HOME program provides funding to local communities to create a decent, safe, affordable housing opportunities for low-income persons. And over the past 5 years, the city has received a total of $11.1 million in CDBG funds and $4.6 million in home funds. And whereas the City of Lowell and other local governments have demonstrated the capacity to administer and customize the CDBG and home programs to address important local issues such as human service needs, job creation and retention, neighborhood revitalization, public infrastructure improvements, and affordable housing. Now, therefore, I, Rodney M. Elliott, on behalf of all my colleagues in government, designate the week of April 21st through April 25th as National Community Development Week and encourage all residents to participate, given this 22nd day of April 2014 by myself and my colleagues in government. We thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I just want to thank you all for participating through the years and making the great decisions that we've all made using CDBG funds. A lot of wonderful things have happened in the community, and we have that funding to thank. And Allison Lamy, our Community Development Director, has done a wonderful job managing these funds. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane and Allison. Moving on to the agenda, next item under the city clerk are the minutes of the meeting of April 15th for acceptance. Motion to approve by Council Belanger, seconded by Councilor Kennedy. Discussion? All those in favor to accept and place on file? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Utility public hearing, it's not 7 o'clock, so we'll move on to communications from the city manager. Communication summary, as well as motion responses. Councilor Marcia?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know it's not on the agenda, but it's very important that it's getting close to the time of Saturday, April 26th, and it's the second annual Pet Fest. And we're reminding the public again that at the Butler School, the Lowell Police Department, the K-9 demonstration, and they will offer every Lowell dog a license, $10 for a rabies vaccine, separate vets for cats and dogs. Dogs must be on a leash, cats must be in a carrier, but this is very important to immunize your pet. I think that's so important because I'm an animal lover and we need to keep them healthy as well. And the city of Lowell is allowing that to happen to a very reasonable shot, less expensive, hosted by the Lowell Police Animal Control Division. So microchips, rabies clinic, many things available for your pet. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. That's a great reminder. I know there are some signs throughout the city advertising this as well, so it is important. Anything else under Council, under motion responses? Council Milonazo?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This did come up last week, and I guess I'm looking for a point of clarification. There was a transfer of $155,000 in the Lowell Fire Department, and I thought there was a threshold number that it did not need to come to us, but I didn't think it was as high as 155. And it could be that it's within the department and it doesn't need our approval, but just a point of clarification.
Mr. Manager? Mr. Healy?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, Councilor, I believe there is a council order in existence. 20,000 is the threshold to inform the council of any transfers that it can take place internally.
Okay.
This is a transfer when the reserve fund was appropriated to cover the retroactive fire salaries. It was all went into salary and wages permanent. This disperses it through those other items of overtime, holiday, and et cetera, out of grade pay. So this is just to balance out the salary account in those particular line items.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Healy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion on the motions? Motion to accept and place on file by Councilor Martin, seconded by Councilor Mercia. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Still under communications from the city manager. 4.2, communication. City manager requests out-of-state travel for 3 members of the Lowell Police Department. Discussion?
Move approval.
Move approval by Councilor Mercia, seconded by Councilor Milonazo. Roll call.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Milonazo.
Yes.
Counsel Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Samaras. Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Counsel Kennedy.
Yes.
Counsel Leahy. Counsel Martin.
Yes.
7 yeas.
7 yeas, motion carries. Next item, under item 5.1, vote from the city manager. This is a vote to authorize the city manager to execute an MOU regarding banners for St. Joseph's the Worker Shrine. Mr. Manager, this is just a follow-up.
Yes, they're having their triennial celebration, and they want to just hang banners on the 2 light posts so that it advertises their triennial celebration. And I know Mr. Marchand is going to be assisting them in making sure that they're located properly, and it's a good memorandum of understanding.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to waive the full reading by Council Milonazo, second by Council Rourke. All those in favor signify by saying aye. In the opposed, motion carries. Second reading by title, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in the City of Lowell, in City Council. Vote authorizing the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding between the City of Lowell and St. Joseph the Worker Shrine relative to the installation of anniversary banners on 3 city lampposts in the immediate vicinity of the Shrine of St. Joseph the Worker on Lee Street. Move approval by Councilor Rourke, seconded by Councilor Belanger. Roll call.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Milonazo.
Yes.
Counsel Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Samaras. Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Counsel Kennedy.
Yes.
Counsel Leahy. Counsel Martin.
Yes.
7 yeas.
7 yeas, motion carries. Next item, under orders from the city manager, 6.1, order, 60-day trial for Smith Street. Motion to waive the full reading by Councilor Kennedy, seconded by Councilor Martin. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed, motion carries. Second reading by title, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, City of Lowell, in City Council. Order pursuant to Chapter 266 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Lowell, Massachusetts, concerning Section 266-6 thereof entitled Temporary Experimental Regulations. Temporary traffic regulations are hereby implemented for a period of 60 days. What is the wish of the body?
Move
Approval by
approval.
Councilor Mercia, seconded by Councilor Martin. Roll call.
Counsel Mercia.
Yes.
Counsel Milonazo.
Yes.
Counsel Rourke.
Yes.
Counsel Samaras. Counsel Belanger.
Yes.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Counsel Kennedy.
Yes.
Counsel Leahy. Counsel Martin.
Yes.
7 yeas.
7 yeas, motion carries. Next item, reports, subcommittee. Public Safety Subcommittee of April 22nd, 2014. Councilor Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, tonight we had a Public Safety Subcommittee meeting. That was attended by my colleagues, Councilor Belanger and Councilor Mercia. In attendance was Frank Singleton, Director of Lowell's Board of Health, Jeff Stewart from Trinity Ambulance. From our fire department, Lieutenant Dave Keene, Lieutenant Brian Potter, and Lieutenant Larry Ledoux. Emery Page, the president of Lowell Citizens Council, was also here, as well as Superintendent Taylor and Sergeant Fleming from our police department. Councilman Mazzo was also in attendance. And tonight, Mr. Mayor, we reviewed 3 motions that were sent to us. The first motion was the use of Narcan in the city of Lowell. Frank Singleton spoke first from the Department of Health. He gave us the rundown of how it can be used and, in his opinion, how it should be used. Lieutenant Potter from the fire department stated that the department is currently 6 weeks to 2 months away from full implementation of the use of Narcan. Also, Lieutenant Dave Keene, the president of the Firefighters Union, spoke and stated that the members from the chief on down are fully behind this initiative. The superintendent also told the Public Safety Subcommittee that he will be meeting with Chief Pitter, EMS, and the Board of Health. And also, he will include in that meeting the use of EpiPens, also with our first responders. We had multiple public speakers, so it went very well, and hopefully the full council will be hearing very soon that our departments will be using Narcan. The second motion is a motion by Councilor Kennedy regarding the matrix study. Superintendent Taylor stated that the department is currently working on updating all the policies and procedures of the Lowell Police Department. The goal of updating these current policies and procedures to have the police department be accredited by the Massachusetts Police Accreditation Commission. Sergeant Tom Fleming also spoke on the matrix plan and expressed a willingness to work with the superintendent to achieve this goal. The policies and procedures will follow some of those recommendations made in the matrix study. The third motion of the night, Mr. Mayor, was made by yourself and seconded by Councilor Kennedy. It was regarding Lowell's service plan. Lieutenant Larry Ledoux from the fire department spoke. He stated that the plan includes input from our police department, fire department, EMS services, and the Board of Health. Once the document is complete, which is close to happening, after a final meeting, it will be then submitted to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health for final approval. Tonight's meeting was a great example of multiple departments in Lowell working together for the benefit of the citizens. I want to thank you for all who attended and spoke on these motions. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is, I'd like to speak in order for informational purposes that we do have a Economic Development Subcommittee meeting for next Tuesday, the 29th at 5:30. And through you to the manager, if I could, Mr. Manager, that you request Jim Troop be present for that at 5:30. And I have other business. We have other items that we need to get to. We will do that in May. I didn't schedule anything else. I expect some dialogue on this from the residents and businesses downtown. So I expect this to absorb the whole hour next Tuesday. So thank you, Mr. Manager. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilor, I'll entertain a motion to accept the report of progress and place on file with Councilor Milanazzo, seconded by Councilor Mercia. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed? Motion carries. We've got that subcommittee report. Any further updates on other subcommittee meetings or other subcommittee reports? Seeing none. Move on to petitions. Item 8.1. There's one claim for property damage. Motion to refer to the Law Department for report and recommendation by Councilor Kennedy, seconded by Councilor Martin. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed? Motion carries. Still not 7 o'clock, so we will move into the council motions. First motion of the evening by Councilor Kennedy. Request city manager engage the proper department at UMass Lowell to conduct a backwater study to determine the maximum water depth before flooding occurs in the Clay Brook watershed. Second by Councilor Rourke. Councilor Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Excuse me. I know this is an issue that every member of the city council has been very concerned with. And what came to my attention recently was that we don't have a backwater study, that we really have to depend on Enel's backwater study for our information. And it seems to me that where we have the university, we have that as a resource, we should take advantage of that. I think that the flooding issues impact the university itself and the campus somewhat, and this is a study that should be helpful to the city going forward. And I think, if anything, it would provide the people in the Claybrook area and throughout the city with with more confidence in what the maximum level is before flooding would begin. And so the motion just asks that the city manager engage get the university to do this through the chancellor. And I think that that time is of the essence. So this is not a study that we're going to want to wait a year for. We'd like to get this done as soon as possible. And I would just suggest, Mr. Manager, that you impress that upon the chancellor when you're speaking with him.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. And the opposed? Motion carries. Councilor Mercier, could you kindly take the chair?
Motion by Councilor Samaras and Mayor Elliott requesting a Youth Activities Subcommittee meet to discuss healthy summer and summer job programs. Seconded by Councilor Kennedy. Mayor Elliott.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. The motion does speak for itself, but I know on an annual basis, the Youth Activities Subcommittee typically meets just to go over the programs being offered by Healthy Summer as well as the city, so we can engage the youth and let them know that, what is out there, as well as residents in the community to sign up, their children to participate in the park program. So, Councilor Samaras and I, we were talking about it and thought it was a good idea to have a subcommittee to have the manager come in with, any other entities throughout the city that will have a parks program or summer jobs program. I know the Career Center last year got a fair amount of funding from the Commonwealth Corporation, so I thought it was a good idea to get that information out and have a discussion out of the subcommittee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Next motion by Mayor Elliott requests the city manager report on efforts to clean streets and sidewalks in downtown on weekends. Seconded by Councilor Milanazzo. Mayor Elliott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, the motion does speak for itself. This came from a neighborhood meeting that myself and Councilor Belanger attended downtown, the Downtown Neighborhood Association, and there was concern on the weekend with the clutter and trash. There is an individual with the vehicle downtown on the weekends on the weekdays that does go through and pick up the trash and the litter in the downtown. It is going to happen, unfortunately. So, and I do think it's important, as well as the residents do, to show that we're cleaning it up. So that's the essence of the motion. If we can get someone down there on the weekends, Mr. Manager, I think people are down there on the weekends, and I'm down there in the downtown. Saturday and Sunday mornings, and it can use a cleaning rather than wait till Monday morning. So that's the essence of the motion.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor or Mr. Manager?
Yes, I've already started looking into this. I understand exactly what the issue is that we do have one person that works on Saturday, a watchman, but he or she can't concentrate on the downtown area. So what I'm looking to do is to work with the workforce to have somebody work from Tuesday through Saturday, so that I'm sure there's somebody who'd like to have Sunday and Monday off, and then they could work on Saturday and concentrate on downtown so that it keeps it clean, at least on Saturday, when most of the people would be there on the weekend. So we're putting on some temporary workers right now, and I'm hoping to work out an arrangement where that one or two people work Tuesday through Saturday to watch over downtown on Saturday.
Okay. Thank you. I know the residents would appreciate it. They do see that it is, the litter and trash is being cleaned up, but we want people to come downtown on the weekends, and after Friday night, the downtown needs, it needs a good cleaning, if you will. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you. Councilor Rourke.
Thank you, Councilor Mercer. That was my suggestion, Mr. Manager, is just, maybe if we can find, I'm sure a couple of people would work Tuesday to Saturday. So thank you very much. Yeah,
Great minds think alike. Councilor Belanger.
Thank you, Councilor. I think it's a great motion, and one that comes in demand of the residents, and it's something that I see firsthand, especially what stands out is Sunday mornings in particular, when I'm on my way down to my business, and there's few people on the streets, few vehicles on the streets, you can really see the litter. It seems like when we have the most foot traffic and the most tourists and visitors downtown is when we have the less manpower cleaning the streets, so that doesn't add up, quite frankly. But I understand there's maybe union issues, Mr. Manager, and I think you see this, what's going on here, and I think staggering, as you're about to propose, city workers like that to clean, so they're down there on Saturdays and Sundays where the barrels are toppled, the gutters are full with trash, and not good for visitors coming into the city, and this is what they see. So I think it's a good motion. I think we can come to a answer very, very shortly, so I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mayor Elliott?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Council Belanger raised a good issue. The barrels downtown, do we still have the same number of barrels that we do? I mean, one of the reasons why there could be more trash is, as Council Belanger mentioned, the barrels are full. I mean, the good news, I suppose, that the people are using them. But are there less, or are they the same number of barrels down there? They're still the same?
The same, and they are picked up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
But that's why we have the watchman on Saturday that checks out. But this would be good if we could get a person designated in downtown. They would be able to make sure all the barrels were emptied over the weekend also.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Mayor Elliott, it's about 7 o'clock, so it's your...
We have one motion. What do you got?
Thank you, Council. I did not forget my glasses this time. The 7 o'clock will go into the public hearing. Item 3.1, utility public hearing. National Grid and Verizon New England request pole location at 16 Maud Street. We'll open the hearing for those. We'll just open the public hearing for those wishing to speak in favor. And seeing none, the clerk did receive a call from National Grid. They could not send anyone here this evening for this public hearing, so no objection. We'll just delay and move this public hearing to next week.
Motion to recess 1 week.
Motion to recess by 1 week by Councilor
Second.
Martin, second by Councilor Mercia. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed, motion carries. Hearing is recessed for 1 week. Having concluded all of the items on the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn by Councilor Rourke, seconded by Councilor Malinazzo. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed, motion carries. Have a good evening.